Subiendo por tus caminos hasta tocar el cielo, mis manos rozan tus nubes, mis pies recorren tu hielo. Respiro y vivo entre aromas de frutas, pieles y flores. Me pintas con tus colores, me lleno de tus sabores. Mira Tungurahua, eres mi refugio cuando quiero paz. Mira Tungurahua, hoy quiero escuchar tu canto de volcán. Vive Tungurahua.
Several positive factors have come together in order to launch this ambitious tourism project. They are basically the 9 agritourism and craft routes of Tungurahua, the immense natural and cultural wealth of our province, a marvelous network of first-class inter-parish highways, the international airport of Latacunga, only 20 minutes from Ambato, and most especially, the enterprising talent of the people of Tungurahua and the work they have coordinated with authorities. We're committed to showing ourselves to the world as a province that can attract tourists because of its beauty and noble human values. Ambato. Culture, history, food, and shopping. The Ambato Agritourism and Craft Route invites you on a tour. Bronze and marble statues and well-tended gardens make the Montalvo Park a representative image of Ambato. The Italian monument of Montalvo is an expression of art that honors the man of genius born in this city. The 60-year-old cathedral next to Montalvo Park is another symbol of the city that represents the proud spirit of the people from the province of Tungurahua. This beautiful structure was built over the ruins left by the devastating earthquake of 1945. Another structure that has been restored with hard work and good taste is the Casa del Portal, a house more than 100 years old that has been designated a cultural heritage site because of its Republican architecture. It is now the Casa del Portal Provincial Museum. Andean paintings of Luis A. Martinez are exhibited in one room. There are also archaeology exhibits. Artwork from all over the world is on display, and the history and art of the people of Tungurahua have their place. Because of its architectural and historical importance, Juan Montalvo's house and mausoleum is also a cultural heritage site of Ecuador. This house where Montalvo was born is a museum which has aspects of his era on display. A magnificent collection of portraits of Montalvo painted by well-known national artists, as well as manuscripts of his writings, are here also. A somber mausoleum at one side of the house holds the remains of the great thinker, writer, and humanist who was Juan Montalvo, a liberal whose unsurpassed intellectual gifts still influence Ecuadorian political life. This museum, located just a few blocks from the city center, pays homage to another great artist from Ambato, Edmundo Martinez Mera, whose father, Luis A. Martinez, was also a renowned painter and writer. This elegantly restored house has 4 exhibition rooms, which display the Luis A. Martinez Room awarded paintings, as well as other excellent Ecuadorian artists. Many people go to Ambato Central Market every day to buy delicious, energizing drinks made from fresh fruit and combinations of carrots, alfalfa, cucumber, and other energizing products. One section of the market specializes in Ambato's famous potato patty served with chorizo sausage, fried eggs, and avocado. The One Caja Shopping Center in Ambato was created to supply the demand business people and tourists from other places in the country had for shoes because Ambato and several cantons in Tungurahua produce inexpensive, good quality shoes. 14 hectares of theme gardens, nurseries, greenhouses, 200 species of large-sized plants, endemic species and paths make up the La Liria Botanic Garden, one of the most important botanic gardens in our country. Another example of the intellectual qualities of people from Ambato is the writer and artist Juan Leon Mera, whose 9-hectare heavenly villa in the Atocha neighborhood is now a museum. The regal Republican-style mansion is surrounded by beautiful gardens that fuse French and Japanese design in 11 rooms that accommodate relics of his artistic life and testimonies of his literary talent. The Martinez Holguin Museum recreates the everyday life of this influential Ambato family to reveal part of Ambato's history, especially that of the 18th and 19th centuries, with carved furniture and instruments of that era. The members of this family were interested in the arts and scientific research. Several rooms containing the furniture they used give a clear idea of how families lived during that time. In the Atocha neighborhood, bread and empanadas fresh from the oven are always ready to accompany the traditional colada morada. Orchards in Tungurahua produce the raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, babaco, peaches, and aromatic herbs year-round that are used to prepare this drink so well liked by people in Tungurahua, other Ecuadorians, and every tourist that visits Ambato. Along with the rise in its enterprising and productive population, Ambato has also increased the number of all types of services available. Restaurants, bars, and discotheques offer all kinds of food and entertainment in the evening, and especially on weekends. The lights of the city turn on, the music starts, and it's time to relax after a hard day's work. When people talk about bread from Pinjo, they just mean it's bread that smells and tastes very, very good. Because this is the bread that people in Tungurahua have been eating for generations. It has made their life joyful, and the custom is to share it with others. Wood-burning ovens and natural spices are most certainly the characteristics that make chicken from Pinjo so special. This dish, served with potatoes bathed in peanut sauce, has been famous for more than half a century. The Provincial Family Park is the most important ecological recreational project in Tungurahua. Its convention center, gardens, lakes, eating places, farm, and other facilities cover an area of 55 hectares. This is a wonderful place where people from Ambato and other places in Ecuador can enjoy nature to the fullest. 10% of the population of the rural parish of Quisapincha in Ambato Canton make homemade leather products. The quality of these articles is so good, they now have a national market and also sell in other countries such as Colombia, Costa Rica, the United States, and Spain. Their leather articles are sold in weekend fairs and also in stores that open every day of the week. Juan Montalvo's villa in the Atocha neighborhood is a 200-year-old ancestral home surrounded by beautiful gardens. The house contains the paintings and letters of this writer, known as the Cervantes of America, because of his exceptional use of the Spanish language. Some of his famous sayings are etched on the stairway, and a wishing well softly burbles in one corner. Another interesting parish to visit is Pasa, where many people produce shirts. These people are careful to use good fabric, are trained in design, keep up with fashion, and are happy to help the tourists who visit them. Quero, enchanted greenery. The Quero Agritourism and Craft Route invites you on a tour. Mentor is a wood carver, and he also teaches pyrography in the city of Quero. He draws birds from the Amazon and fruit from his province. He works with his family, so his wife and one of his daughters print the color on the mortars, rolling pins, money boxes, and his beautiful handcrafted articles. New ideas applied to promising projects that will improve the living conditions of people in Quero are giving good results, such as those seen in the Gooseberry Producers Association. The entire process, from growing this Andean fruit up to the moment of packaging it and its derived products, meets all the requirements for food safety registration. All tourists who visit Quero have a standing invitation.
A saborear el delicioso helado de uvilla. También tenemos mermeladas, jugos, que todo lo hacemos con cariño, con amor.
Guillermina Villalba and the old Singer sewing machine she learned to sew on have made hundreds of quilts to decorate the town's bulls and make the popular celebrations more special. She also designs the capes and clothing used for religious statues. She reminded us that Quero has always cultivated craftsmanship.
Mi papá hacía las cobijas, todo Quero hacían las cobijas de lana, los ponchos igual.
In Quero, as well as in all the canton capitals in Tungurahua, visitors who come on business or as tourists can be sure they will find a clean, comfortable hotel. Macias has been carving wood all his life. He believes alder and pine the most noble of all wood. His father was a craftsman, and he has continued the tradition. His desire is that tourists come to his workshop to discover the artist within himself. Quero has much to offer in the line of adventure. The agroecological hacienda Ipolongo offers an exciting trip through the plateau of an extensive protected area in the Igualata mountain. After walking and resting, about 20 minutes from where the highway ends and following a little stream, the objective is to come upon the Cimarron waterfall in an enchanting canyon. Age is not a limiting factor for this excursion. Back at the hacienda, hot potato soup and a big dish of chicken stew are waiting. Everywhere we go, rain or shine, people from Quero prove they love their work. In the community of Hualcanga La Doloroso, people have united and formed the APROLEG Association in order to collect milk and produce fresh cheese and yogurt with fruit grown in the region. They are confident that their serious work will also be an agro-tourism attraction.
Lo que queremos aquí es que el turista, el consumidor venga y pueda apreciar, decir, vea, este es un producto hecho con manos de campesinos, pero aplicando las tecnologías que requiere.
Agro-tourism farms are an open book for learning, besides being recreational opportunities. A person can see how medicinal plants, spices, and ancestral food are grown, and have a lot of fun picking fruit to take home, or they can make flavorful, nutritious juice and drink it right at the farm. Wood in Quero is a source of work in different ways. In the community of San Vicente, 12 micro-enterprises mold laurel and cinnamon to make practical but beautiful furniture. They pay a great deal of attention to the finishing process. Since their prices are quite accessible, the benefit for clients and producers is mutual.
El agradecimiento más que el mismo dinero, porque a lo que vamos a dejar los muebles nos agradecen, porque les gusta la calidad del mueble.
Pijero, a treasure waiting to be discovered. The Pijero Agrotourism and Craft Route invites you on a tour. Carefully cultivated fields in the countryside attract many city dwellers. They want to learn how to plant and harvest healthy food.
Yo, Marianita, pues les invito a que asistan a mi granja para que ustedes vean el proceso productivo, de qué manera se está elaborando.
The patience and skill of true craftspeople in Cesar Galora's shop in the Three Esquinas neighborhood in the Presidente Urbina parish produce the balls that thousands of Ecuadorian boys dream of.
Nuestro balón cuenta con todas las garantías necesarias, por eso tenemos gente que llega, se compra el balón y dice no, este balón es bueno y regresan. Inclusive regresan trayendo más clientela, para nosotros gustoso de elaborar un balón para ellos.
The agroecological farm of the Honorable Provincial Government of Tungurahua is a school that teaches how to produce healthy food.
El uso de la materia orgánica, sea compost, humus, sea abonos verdes, vicia, avena incorporados al suelo, todo esto es prácticamente la vida del suelo.
These nutrients help tubers and vegetables and thereby guarantee food security. Medicinal plants and fruit that provide vitamins are truly effective. it is also possible to interact with the domestic animals in the farm and buy some of the nutritional benefits they provide. For years, craftspeople from Pijaro have focused their craft on making devil masks with an attention to detail, because it is the most important piece of the costume worn in the Diablada de Pijaro dance. In early January, leaders of the celebration give free rein to dancing to the rhythm of tonadas, San Juanitos, pasacalles, and saltashpas played by village bands. This entire traditional representation of the Diablada de Pijaro is an intangible cultural heritage. Hotel service in the city of Pijaro is responding positively to the growing demand of visitors. Hotel Chelos has a good reputation for cleanliness and their friendly dealings with guests. Because of its good service, the Pijaro Viejo restaurant is a favorite for conventions, weddings, and special occasions.
La especialidad de la casa es el cuy en horno de leña.
One of the principal attractions at the El Porvenir Tours Complex is fishing. Canopy sports, the energy and perfume of medicinal plants, aggressive sheep fights, food and lodging are all to be had here. The appearance of the San Jose de Paulo parish has greatly improved. The park and the facades of houses have become large canvases. Painting the customs and traditions of my people is a colorful welcoming sign at the entrance to the Llanganates National Park. Mysterious and undiscovered are words used to refer to the Llanganates National Park, precisely because of their inaccessibility. A trip to the Pisayambo Lagoon, however, is a total adventure for young and old alike. Barbecued pork is a well-known typical food. What is different is the duck a la mud, baked in an oven covered with plateau clay at the Las Delicias de la Pachamama Parador in the San Vicente neighborhood.
Lo importante es que les gusta a las personas que vienen, que lo prueban, y porque por sobre todas las cosas lo hacemos con amor.
In the San Juan de Junacuri neighborhood, the Rumiñahui Museum houses some of our country's history and a lot of the history of the Canton of Pijaro, including archaeological pieces, coin and stamp collections, 200-year-old books, and a total of 5,000 pieces of incalculable cultural value.
Para que el pueblo de Pijaro, el Tungurahua, el Ecuador, conozcan un poco más de uno de los pueblos más antiguos de nuestro Ecuador, lo que es Pijaro.
In the Emilio Maria Terán parish, the Don Homero Paradero offers a variety of exquisite and delicious home-style cooked typical meals based on the use of their agroecological products. The effort it takes to carry out creative work is compensated by the excellent acceptance homemade dry flowers have in the Pijaro marketplace.
Llevamos ya unos 15 años en lo que es esto de las flores procesadas. La materia prima le traemos de la costa, la sierra y el oriente. Hay algunas variedades que nosotros cultivamos aquí mismo en nuestra zona.
In the same parish, the Monteverde Tourist Complex has sports fields, a warm water swimming pool, and produce from their own garden.
Vengan, conozcan, disfruten aquí en nuestras instalaciones del complejo turístico Monteverde. Son unos momentos de sana expansión, sanos momentos que van a disfrutarlo entre familia. Los esperamos.
The decor of their restaurant goes hand in hand with their carefully prepared food. The main attraction at the Quillan Community Tourism Center is the fishery installation.
Hace 18 años estamos con estas iniciativas, estos emprendimientos económicos. Preparamos con la misma producción que se da aquí en el sector.
They serve trout every way imaginable. Ecological paths in Quillan lead us to the sources of water, where we see how it is treated. Improving the lifestyle of their community depends on the way they treat it and deal with tourists. Pelileo, business, culture, and nature. The Pelileo Agro-Tourism and Craft Route invites you on a tour. The natural, social, historical, and cultural wealth of the Salasaca people is exhibited in a unique museum. The first room displays a work of Salasaca art.
Procedemos directamente de los incas. Es una mezcla muy grande que la cultura Salasaca mantiene hasta este momento.
Their architecture, mythology and customs, sculptures, and all their symbolism in their works of art are displayed on 4 floors in the museum building. One floor is dedicated to the sun god and the shaman they call Hatun Hambik. This museum has a counterpart with a live demonstration of their culture. Their idea is to allow visitors to really experience the life of this people, participate in rural activities, and interact with inhabitants. The ancestral practice of shamanic healing is an example of what a person can experience in this living museum. With the hostel, the Salasaca people show how hospitable they are and how much they want tourists to come to learn about their daily lives and not just have a sightseeing experience. Although 22 Salasaca communities can all show what good craftspeople they are, there are 2 sites that are special for observing how they make these beautiful articles of wool and other materials. These articles are sold in the Salasaca Craft Market and the Kayak Raimi Ulikakama Cultural and Craft Fair. Tasty, typical food is also sold in these 2 places. The entire province of Tungurahua is a land of flowers and fruit. The gates of the Chiquicha farm are open so you can experience agro-tourism and learn more about this respectable activity.
Las actividades que pueden realizar acá, vienen a visitar, puede ser que a comprar producto orgánico, a ver cómo se cultiva, el proceso de cultivo, ¿no?, de las diferentes plantas.
At Niton Hill in the canton of Pelileo, the sky is another place for adventure. Almost no other place in our country can compete with such special atmospheric conditions as those found here. Experts guarantee safe dynamic flights and aerodynamic and thermal flying. If we can hike, climb mountains or swim underwater, then why not fly free like birds?
Nos dedicamos aquí a hacer la actividad desde hace igual 15, 16 años. Es una zona muy interesante para nuestra actividad.
A paraglider is really an airplane made of fabric and cords that, when correctly piloted, becomes the best approximation of free flight. After the first time, a person is sure to want to repeat the experience. The beauty of it will overcome your fear of flight.
Paragliding was awesome. I'm normally not the huge adventure type. I'm terrified of heights, but as soon as we took off, it was just amazing. It was so smooth, and I even gained enough courage to ask if we could do a spiral. It was the best thing I've done here so far.
The most popular article of clothing in the world can be found at the busy Pelileo Jean Fair, where prices and models are excellent. These famous jeans are now well known in other countries. The most demanding taste will be satisfied with wheat flour empanadas and their brown sugar filling. These Pelileo specialties are baked in clay pots. The same is true of the furniture industry of Huambalo. This quality furniture is well known in the entire country.
Nosotros tenemos actualmente el mayor consumidor es la parte de Quito, pero ya se está abriendo otros sectores como son la costa, el oriente y a nivel nacional.
Teachers, trained operators, good tools, and a search for new designs assure a competitive and dynamic market. The La Moya Recreational Park at the edge of the city is a synonym of diversion. Children can be children, and young people and adults experience the happiness of their childhood pastimes once again. You can ride around in these little cars or float on transparent bubbles in this artificial lake. In Pelileo, huge bronze pots overflow with steaming hot fried pork, warming on a wood-burning stove. It comes with a generous serving of potatoes, hominy, plantain, and mouth-watering fritters.
Este negocio comencé a trabajar, son 43 años. Nosotros atendemos el día viernes, sábado y domingo y los días feriados también, que ya sabe la digna clientela ya.
At El Truchón, you can spend a day in the countryside. It is advertised as a trout breeder, but they do so well they have no small fish and are all classified as giant trout.
Hay gente que le gusta venir acá, ver, mirar y cosechar, pescar su propia trucha y hacer preparar, que también lo hago con mucho gusto.
An entire day of sunlight awaits you at the Don Moro complex, where you can get the rest you need. These shots show how it feels to be on horseback. No one here returns empty-handed after a day's fishing expedition. The abundance of trout and good bait guarantee you'll get great fish. You can season it to your liking and then bake or fry it in hot oil. The desire human beings have to experience new sensations leads us to the Patate River, where rafting with the right precautions is another adventure sport that fits in with the type of tourism that corresponds to our beautiful natural resources. A horseback ride on a docile horse at the La Hiedra complex prepares the visitor for a picnic lunch of fresh fava beans, corn, and cheese, or fried pork with hominy or chicken consommé with spring onions and parsley served under a sun-bathed gazebo.
Vengan a visitarnos por favor y tomen contacto con la naturaleza, que será un placer realmente atenderlos.
Tisaleo, a joyful cultural paradise. The Tisaleo Agritourism and Craft Route invites you on a tour. At noon, the workers at Mama Fanny's Fried Pork, her daughters, nieces, nephews, and grandchildren have a hard time managing to serve so many customers. Although the specialty is fried pork with potato patties, there's great demand for fried cracklings or pork rind served with hominy, or for chicken broth served with potatoes, parsley, and a hot chili pepper sauce made with tamarillo. Since these dishes disappear in the blink of an eye, we recommend you get in line right away. Halfway between Ambato and Riobamba, the Sierra Bella Hostel is an excellent lodging alternative that offers food. A covered warm water swimming pool, hydromassage, sauna, and Turkish baths are available to pamper your body. The Tío Pepe Ranch endeavors to attract lovers of horses and horseback bullfighting enthusiasts.
Les invito a pasar a las caballerizas donde podrán observar caballos de paso que son muy lindos, de una raza espectacular. Sigan, por favor.
Mago is one of the star horses on the ranch. This horse has been trained carefully and lovingly to make spectacular lateral, sitting, passage, and Spanish movements in a demonstration of spirited elegance.
Bueno, el gusto que yo tengo de los caballos nace por mi padre, que le gustaba los caballos.
Tentadero El Carmen is a place for aggressive sheep fights. In order to be more coherent now because of limitations on bullfights, these rivals call themselves sheepsters. Olé! In these unstable times, what seemed to be the latest technology yesterday, today appears only as museum pieces. Tape recorders, our grandmother's sewing machines, and writing gear from pre-automobile times all belong to antique collections and nostalgia now. Marley is another family enterprise that produces milk products. 800 liters of milk are transformed into fresh cheese and yogurt daily, in the midst of the fragrance of the fruit grown in neighboring orchards. The Junior Ice Cream Factory meets health registration requirements for the hundreds of liters of ice cream they sell in several Ecuadorian cities. However, eating ice cream right where it is made is a unique pleasure. In Tisaleo, orchards look so much like gardens. They really are both.
Sean bienvenidos a mi granja. Aquí les voy a ofrecer especialmente las flores, que es lo que más cultivamos. Además de eso tenemos otros cultivos.
But there is a special attraction on this farm. It's the lion pig they have as a pet. The long mane on this guinea pig creates a sensation among tourists. There are also rabbits, sheep, parakeets, and trout.
Aquí de cualquier turista puede venir, llegar acá, y aquí podemos partirnos hacia arriba. Ofrecemos caballos para cabalgata, para que el que desee ir a caballo, también le ofrecemos gastronomía.
The Corazón de Jesus Association represents a friendly group of people. You can pitch a tent on their grounds and climb the Puñalica Hill or perhaps go horseback riding. And if people are interested in heights, they can tandem paraglide. Religious fervor in Tisaleo influences believers to keep their church attractive, and they don't skimp on having it well lit. The Santa Lucia Hostel has comfortable rooms with cable TV for people who visit Tisaleo on business or who come with their family on vacation. The good food here will meet your every expectation.
Les ofrezco toda clase de bocaditos, platos típicos. Aquí tenemos desde el cafecito que se sirve con el tamalito, las humitas.
In this land of craftsmen and musicians, there is no guitar shop where a guitar maker can't pick out a tune on this popular instrument. Some of these craftsmen also study music and want to join a large orchestra. When you go to Tisaleo, don't miss seeing these workshops, where you can buy yourself a guitar or take away a small one as a souvenir. The House of the Sun in the city of Tisaleo is a refuge for musicians and poets. One of them is the Canton Reporter. 3 generations of people who love culture and traditional food are your hosts.
Esto es lo que muestra Tisaleo, esto es lo que vende la provincia. Si ustedes vienen para acá, para la Casa del Sol, van a darse cuenta que van a tener música en vivo, van a darse cuenta que van a tener turismo, van a tener lo que ustedes quieren, incluso van a llevarse recuerdos como el museo que tienen acá al lado.
The cornucopia of fortune in Tisaleo symbolizes the hard work carried out in the fields and small industries that help maintain a better lifestyle for its inhabitants. Several shoe workshops in Tisaleo are proof that there is enough talent here for home-based undertakings that can increase family incomes in this canton. At the CBG farm in the San Antonio neighborhood, only organic fertilizer is used in the soil, where they produce sweet strawberries. A day's outing to pick this delicious fruit, or their immense dark raspberries, results in an unforgettable experience. Productos Braino is a family micro-enterprise that makes nougat candy, a traditional sweet handed down from Spanish pastry shops, but originally from Arabia, where it was made with bee honey and egg whites. There are many variations of this recipe, and in Tisaleo, what makes it different is the use of peanuts. Mocha, pathway to tradition and delight. The Mocha Agritourism Craft Route invites you on a tour. Most of Mocha's religious tendency revolves around the church, which houses a place for crafts and a museum of artistic pieces. San Juan Bautista, the patron saint of cattle ranchers and farmers, is the object of numerous types of devoted offerings. The popular celebration of Octavas is another manifestation of religious fervor. The Cal y Piedra waterfall is located on the road to the highlands, where springs gush with healthy water that renews energy.
Desde mi infancia yo me he bañado en las cascadas, esa es mi pasión, que lo he tenido desde hace mucho tiempo.
With a little more effort, 10 minutes from the Cal y Piedra waterfall, we come upon another waterfall that is 28 meters high. And we have an encounter with the voices of waters very close to their sources. Whether traveling north or south, no one can resist the temptation of the La Estación rest stop.
Venga, señor, venga, y papitas con cuero, con queso, unas habitas, un cuy calientito.
There's enough variety of food here to satisfy the hunger of any traveler.
Bienvenidos a la planta de balanceados del municipio de Mocha.
This factory was created to improve the entire small animal production in the canton. Due to the good quality and low cost, it is now selling outside the canton. It manufactures 1,000 sacks of quality balanced feed per month. The Tupac Tambo Botanic Garden offers entertainment for all ages, although it is the flowers and ornamental plants that most capture visitors' attention. The owner has planted seeds from different regions of the country. He is an expert gardener who has transformed pasture land into forests. So it is not strange to find a polylepis paper tree in his garden. After this excursion in the countryside, everyone is hungry, but there's a restaurant right next to the garden.
A degustar de su deliciosa comida. Tenemos conejo, pollo frito, pollo asado, fritadas, mote con chicharrón, papas con cuero, el delicioso yaguar locro, el delicioso cuy, que es característico de nuestra provincia y de nuestro cantón, y también los deliciosos postres como la espumilla.
In the area surrounding Moca, farms like this one belonging to the Morales family are becoming more common. This is a sign of good agrotourism.
Le invitamos que coseche personalmente, que deguste de la mata a la boca.
Picturesque afternoons in Moca prepare the traveler for a stay at the La Escondida Hostel, where the warm atmosphere and creativity of the chefs is a pleasant surprise. Their milk-braised rabbit is so delicious many people come back just to enjoy this special dish again and again. The same mystic the Moca people apply to their work shows in their crafts, their typical food, and their customs. The special ingredient they add to daily life is the joy of living.
Entonces les invitamos, por supuesto, a que vengan aquí al restaurante Cuchara Mama a deleitar de este platillo maravilloso como es el cuy.
Experiencing food, the way to get to understand and know people. Besides guinea pig, there is country-style chicken soup, the authentic yaguar locro, blood sausage potato soup, fried pork with hominy, and potato cakes served in an elegant roadside atmosphere. Patate will welcome, capture, and enchant you. This is the Patate Agritourism and Craft Grotto. We invite you to come along with us to begin our tour in the highlands. Patate is called the Valley of Eternal Spring. Fruit grows on the lower part, but there are also mountains over 400 meters high. There are different points where you can get a good view of Chimborazo, take a walk, or practice adventure sports with expert guides.
Estamos en el inicio del sendero a la cascada de Mundug. Lo recomendable para, por ejemplo, en este observar de aves es mantener silencio.
This path is part of the Curipishku route and is good for bird watchers. Further on, the Mundug waterfall is a marvelous sight for hikers. The Monte Maria Tourist Farm offers a number of different activities.
Paseos a caballos, senderos ecológicos, la piscina, zona húmeda.
The restaurant serves different kinds of typical food. But since fishing is a sport here on the farm, visitors usually prefer trout for lunch. Grilled, fried, or baked. It all depends on how the fisherman likes it. In the evening, a well-lit park seduces villagers and visitors to stroll or sing romantic songs. The Señor de Terremoto Church houses a well-organized museum of religious images that includes some made with the polychrome technique that dates back to the colonies. Archaeological relics from the Pansaleo culture are to be found here also. The Soria Pasaje in the city of Patate is an open-air art gallery where artist Gustavo Mosqueta has painted the history and customs of his people and events in old and contemporary Patate. There are many food options in downtown Patate. Sabores y Encantos de mi Tierra specializes in typical food. Here's a sample of yaguar locro for a large family.
Vengan a degustar las delicias y la gastronomía del cantón Patate, así como también disfrutar los atractivos naturales y culturales que ofrece el Valle de la Eterna Primavera.
But Patate's most authentic food is pumpkin arepas.
Y mi abuelita hacía la arepa aquí, entonces de ahí aprendimos nosotros. De ahí siguen mis nietos, mis hijos, hasta mis bisnietos han de seguir.
It's a tradition that will survive as long as there are wood-burning ovens and people love what is ours. They can't keep up with the demand, and Doña Marianita's ovens never cool down. Although arepas are made with pumpkin, corn, brown sugar, cheese, and raisins, every arepa maker adds her own special touch. The Stars Grill takes good care of its clients who prefer grilled chicken when it's time to eat. This crunchy chicken comes from chicken farms in the same Patate Valley region. The Nevada Snack Bar and Restaurant success is careful preparation and first-class attention.
Mi especialidad es las golosinas, dulces y saladitas.
Children have a safe place to play in Patate's Children's Park, a well-groomed, clean site where they can play to their heart's content. La Casta restaurant offers executive lunches and special menus. Typical food and international cuisine are prepared with exquisite taste.
Ofrecemos una gastronomía que estamos fusionándole entre una gastronomía típica y algo tipo gourmet. Principalmente los platos, algunos de los platos estamos usando vegetales cultivados aquí mismo en Casta Restaurant, que son parte del menú.
In the city of Patate, a group of neighbors have organized an association that applies proper techniques to maintain a fruit tree and ornamental plant nursery. This is a wonderful opportunity to encourage forestation and gardening. The Quinlata complex is another example of a family tourist undertaking. They have slowly added spaces for recreation and different tourist interests, and they have done the same with their food service.
Nuestro objetivo es poner un plato nacional cada fin de semana, un internacional y en el almuerzo igual poner platos a la carta para que el turista se sienta conforme con el servicio que nosotros les damos.
The Viña del Rio Hostel has a long history of hotel service. It is surrounded by orchards and vineyards in keeping with the well-preserved tradition, and there are many tangerine trees. The hostel has restaurant service, individual rooms and double cabins. One swimming pool is covered and another is in the open air. Hydromassage is good for our health, but there's nothing better than rowing in the hostel pool. What the San Rafael Alto Association of Agroecological Orchards is doing is another sign that environmentally friendly actions in food security are being practiced. Your stay in the midst of fruit trees will be an escape from hectic city life.
Aquí van a encontrar paz, tranquilidad, lo más importante, si aire puro, pueden desestresarse.
There's a rock on the farm that's getting more patrons. It's the venting rock. Conservation in Patate is becoming a synonym for environmentally responsible tourism.
Cuidamos un bosque de nubes y cuidamos también un poco de páramo. Hemos sembrado el año pasado 5,000 árboles y en total estamos cuidando más de 1 millón de árboles.
The Manteles Hacienda Hotel has 15 heated, very comfortable rooms. Some rooms have a view of the Tungurahua volcano. You can hike here, but most importantly, you'll be able to enjoy the days and nights of long-awaited peace and quiet. Ceballos, better than ever. The Ceballos Agritourism and Craft Route invites you to begin our tour. A century ago, Ceballos had its strain. Now, it has been rehabilitated to commemorate better times, and this is opening the door wide for tourism. Shoe manufacturing has converted Ceballos into an icon for micro-enterprises that have workshops like this one, provides reliable sources of work. Workers have been trained to produce quality products that guarantee both wearability and durability. Joseph's Mark is a factory that also has a sales room. Tourists may visit the production site and see how different styles of shoes are made. Visitors can be sure they are buying fashionable shoes. Prices are good because middlemen are not involved. The Gonzalo Suarez neighborhood in Ceballos is best known for its shoe factories. Calza Fince, Apro Calza, and Unicalza are other brands that are very well made, and there is a growing demand for these brands. Doña Rosita's slogan is the tradition of good flavor, because this business dates back to the 1970s, and that means good, typical food has been served here for a long time. At the Super Cui restaurant, everything is calculated perfectly to maintain the temperature of the grill, so guinea pigs, chickens, and rabbits turn golden brown slowly. Customers' impatience is worth the wait once they receive the feast they expect. In the Primero de Mayo neighborhood in the city of Ceballos, the collection center attracts people who are looking for reasonably priced fruit and vegetables grown in the region. For passers-by, there's roast pork, potato patties, and other dishes that delight visitors. Since the land is so fertile, it's no surprise to find many orchards like El Corazón de Jesus, where it's possible to pick raspberries, apples, plums, and peaches, or feed these small domestic animals. Ceballos is the land of fruit, so strawberries are very important. Dulce Fresa is a micro-enterprise that makes many kinds of exquisite sweets. Strawberries with chantilly cream and chocolate is one of its many desserts. There's always someone around whose inherent wisdom transmits a different perspective regarding life. For Doña Rosita, life has meaning in accordance with the growing seasons. There's a time to choose seed and plant, a time to care for the plants, a time to harvest the fruit and share it with love.
Mi mamá me decía 4, uno para la ave, otro para el perro, otro para el ladrón y uno para mí. Entonces, hay que dar de comer a todos.
And then, it's time to plow the land and begin again at her farm, San Pedro. The La Bonito hostel in the village of Andignato has large rooms, good for family or institutional gatherings. Country-style gardens provide a restful atmosphere here. Migration to Italy has had an upside for people who learned the art of pizza making with the best in the trade there. Now these compatriots have returned to make perfect Italian-style pasta and cappuccinos at the De Rose Pizzeria Cafe. The Anita Maria Villa in the village of Santo Domingo de Ceballos does honor to all Ecuadorian cuisine, but its specialty is the best tender rabbit in the region. Eating at Las Rosas Paradero is like being out in the country without leaving the city. This very old house and its large patio have been converted into a restaurant that serves grilled meat as well as traditional typical food. Arrobita Villa in the Jesus del Gran Poder neighborhood has become one of the best options for lodging in Ceballos. The rooms are nice and comfortable, and the kitchen serves the most popular national dishes. Baños, adventure, rest, and fun. Welcome to the Baños Agritourism and Craft Route. Invites you on a tour. Several years ago, 60 families decided to make Pondoa a potential tourist attraction where they could offer lodging and share their country life. Here, you can have fresh milk straight from the cow, plow the land, enjoy typical food, and toast everyone present. The community also has a museum, and trained community guides accompany tourists along extraordinary paths, either on foot, on horseback, or riding in a little train. The Las Orquídeas Hostel in the Runtun sector complements hotel service and country life, lodging with everything needed for a comfortable stay, and canopy sports for people who love heights. In the Runtun area, Hostal Cocha is another option where you can rest and relax. The advantage here is to be able to look out on the world from the slopes of the Tungurahua volcano. Sauna steam boxes, fresh country air, and outdoor sports all renew energy. But there's nothing better at the end of the day than dinner before an open fire. Panticucho is just one more opportunity to enjoy nature up close. You can delight in the flavor of fruit you pick from a tree, a rare activity for many people. You can also feed the domestic animals or try your hand at daily farming tasks. Punsan is a family business that offers canopy tours with safe, professional equipment, so tourists can experience what birds feel as they fly from one mountain to another. In this same part of the city, it will be well worth your while to visit the Higacho Museum and view its collection of different types of antiques and unusual objects. Learn about interesting residents in Vizcaya Parish, or see Jorge Araujo's beautiful collection of orchids. The new family park in Baños is now one more place to enjoy healthy outdoors adventure. Nature surrounds the well-groomed areas of the park, which includes a site for sport fishing. The most popular sites for bungee jumping in Baños are the bridges over the Blanco River, where young people satisfy their need for excitement by free-falling and rebounding in open space. In the parishes of Ulva and Rio Verde, 60 waterfalls mark the route of the waterfalls. Waterfalls have always attracted human beings. These waterfalls can be visited by walking along ecological paths accompanied when necessary by a native guide. The Chinchin community is an example of how a community tourist undertaking can be successful if all efforts are focused on the same goal.
Todo el esfuerzo de nosotros, el trabajo en mingas.
There is a cable car here, and lodging and food are also available. Descending to the Pailón del Diablo waterfall is a must for visitors to Baños de Agua Santa. The turquoise waters of the Verde River cascade 3 times over a distance of 100 meters. Lookouts situated very close to the water make it possible to take impressive photos. The Machay River flows down from the high wetlands of the Llanganantes National Park in a series of increasingly spectacular waterfalls. The last one at the juncture with the Pastaza River is Encanto del Rocío. The Machay community takes good care of the site in order to share it with surprise tourists. The butterfly farm in this community invites us to share in one of nature's mysteries as we contemplate different stages of metamorphosis. Before their wings quiver in the sunlight, a marvelous sequence of transformation takes place from egg to larva, to cocoon, and finally to a playful butterfly. Over 20 species, simply born to be beautiful, complete their natural process here in this butterfly farm. Nine agritourism and craft routes of Tungurahua for Ecuador and the rest of the world. We're waiting for you.
Subiendo por tus caminos hasta tocar el cielo, mis manos rozan tus nubes, mis pies recorren tu hielo. Respiro y vivo entre aromas de frutas, pieles y flores. Me pintas con tus colores, me lleno de tus sabores.